The galaxy believed it understood life. Across thousands of star systems, alien civilizations had mapped every known planet that could support living beings. Some worlds were gentle and warm. Some were cold and silent. Some were dangerous but still survivable. There were rules. There were patterns. There were limits. Earth broke all of them. The official report of the Galactic Science Council listed Earth as a Category Red Death world. According to alien science, no advanced species should survive there for more than a few hours. The gravity was too strong. The atmosphere was violent and unstable. The planet was filled with predators, diseases, natural disasters, and sudden weather shifts. Even the land itself was hostile. Yet humans lived there. Not only lived, thrived. This single fact disturbed the galaxy more than any war ever had. Dr. Zaleth stood inside the observation chamber of the Council's flagship, staring at the massive hologram of Earth rotating slowly in the air. His long blue fingers trembled slightly. He had studied death worlds for most of his life, but this one made no sense. "No species survives Earth," he said quietly. Around him, the chamber was filled with scientists, military leaders, and political envoys from dozens of alien races. None of them argued. The data was clear. Every simulation showed the same result. Exposure to Earth's environment caused rapid system failure in non-human life. Zaleth turned to the council members. "The humans are not surviving because Earth is safe," he continued. "They survive because they are built for it." That sentence changed everything. Far away on Earth itself, humanity was unaware of how close it was to becoming the center of galactic fear. Humans were busy doing what they always did, working, arguing, building, fighting, laughing. Storms came and went, earthquakes shook cities, diseases spread and were fought back. Humans adapted as they always had. To them, this planet was just home. The first alien ships arrived silently. They did not come in peace. They did not come to talk. They came with a single goal: containment. The Galactic Defense Fleet believed humanity was a biological threat. A species that could survive Earth might one day survive anything. And a species that could survive anything might one day conquer everything. The decision was made quickly. Earth would be neutralized. The first strike happened over the Pacific Ocean. Massive alien warships uncloaked above the clouds, releasing energy pulses meant to disable human technology. Satellites fell from orbit. Communication systems failed across continents. But something went wrong. Humans reacted faster than expected. Military radars detected the ships within seconds. Emergency protocols activated automatically. Fighter jets scrambled. Defense systems powered up, even while under attack. The aliens had expected panic. They got resistance. Captain Elias Kane stood inside a hardened command bunker as alarms echoed around him. He watched live feeds showing unknown craft hovering above the atmosphere. "They're not broadcasting anything," an officer reported. "No warnings, no demands." Kane's jaw tightened. "Then they're not here to talk." Missiles launched from Earth's surface, streaking toward space. Alien shields flared, absorbing most of the damage, but not all. One ship shuddered as part of its hull cracked. Inside the alien fleet, confusion spread. "How are they responding this fast?" a commander demanded. "They are adapting in real time," another replied. "Their weapons are primitive, but their reaction speed is extreme." The war escalated within minutes. Alien energy weapons rained down on military targets. Cities went dark. But humanity refused to fall. Soldiers fought even when cut off. Pilots flew damaged aircraft. Civilians evacuated under fire. Emergency responders rushed into danger without hesitation. To the galaxy watching from afar, the footage was terrifying. Humans did not flee like prey, they fought like survivors. Dr. Zaleth observed the battle through deep space sensors. His heart pounded. This was not how it was supposed to go. "These conditions should kill them," he said. "Radiation spikes, pressure waves, oxygen loss. No species endures this." A human voice intercepted through a damaged comm channel suddenly filled the chamber. "This is Earth," the voice said calmly. "If you're looking for an easy fight, you picked the wrong planet." Some of the alien leaders recoiled. Others stared in silence. The invasion fleet began taking losses. Human forces used unconventional tactics, decoys, electronic warfare, reckless close-range attacks. They exploited weaknesses the aliens did not know they had. Humans fought with instinct, emotion, and desperation. Traits the galaxy had long dismissed as flaws. On the ground, Elias Kane led a counterstrike team through the ruins of a destroyed base. Smoke filled the air. Alien drones hunted above them. A young soldier looked at the burning sky. "Sir, how are we still standing?" Kane didn't slow down, because this isn't new for us. An alien strike team landed nearby, towering figures in advanced armor. Their weapons glowed with energy capable of melting steel. The humans opened fire anyway. It was brutal, close, personal. When it ended, the aliens lay silent among the rubble. The humans were wounded, exhausted, but alive. Kane looked at the fallen enemy and shook his head. They really thought this world would kill us. Above the planet, the alien fleet began to withdraw. The cost was higher than expected, far higher. Dr. Zaleth watched the retreat orders being issued. His mind raced. This was no longer a simple containment mission. Humanity had proven something dangerous. Earth was not just a death world. It was a training ground, a place that forged survivors into warriors without them even realizing it. Zaleth whispered words that would soon spread across the galaxy. "If this species ever leaves their planet in force," he said, "the universe will never be the same." And on Earth, as the skies slowly cleared, humans began to rebuild, unaware that this was only the beginning. The war had come to their home, and humanity had answered. The galaxy did not sleep after the failed invasion. Across star systems, emergency councils gathered. Military fleets changed formation. Scientists replayed the battle footage again and again, slowing it down, zooming in, searching for logic. They found none. Humans should not have survived. The alien invasion fleet returned to neutral space carrying damaged ships, injured soldiers, and something far more dangerous: fear. Dr. Zaleth stood before the Galactic Science Council once more. His calm scientist posture was gone. His eyes were tired. His voice carried weight now. "We underestimated them," he said. "Not their weapons, not their technology. We underestimated their nature." A tall armored general slammed a clawed fist on the table. "They are still primitive, their ships are fragile, their weapons are crude." "Yes," Zaleth replied, "but they fight as if losing is not an option." The room fell silent. Zaleth activated a hologram. It showed Earth soldiers pulling wounded allies from rubble, civilians forming human chains to rescue strangers, pilots flying damaged craft directly into enemy fire to protect others. "They evolved on a world that never gave mercy," Zaleth continued. "Storms, predators, disease, constant danger. Earth trained them every day of their lives." A council member spoke softly. "They call it home." That word echoed. Home. On Earth, the silence after the invasion felt unnatural. Cities were damaged but alive. Power slowly returned. People gathered in streets, staring at the sky, waiting for the enemy to come back. Captain Elias Kane walked through a temporary command center set up inside a stadium. Maps covered the walls. Engineers repaired equipment non-stop. "We need answers," a general said. "Who were they? Why did they attack?" Kane folded his arms. "They didn't want to talk. That tells me everything." A signal officer suddenly looked up. "Sir, we're receiving something. It's not an attack." Everyone froze. A message appeared on the main screen. Alien symbols shifted, then converted into rough human language. "This is the Galactic Science Council. We request communication." The room exploded with voices. "They want to talk now? After attacking us?" Kane raised a hand. "Put it through." The screen changed. A tall alien figure appeared, Dr. Zaleth. "I am Dr. Zaleth," he said carefully. "I speak for the Council. We acknowledge our error." Kane stared at him. "You attacked our planet." "Yes," Zaleth replied, "because we believed you were a threat that would destroy the galaxy." "And now?" Kane asked. "Now we believe you already could," Zaleth said honestly. "And you chose not to?" That sentence shook the room. Kane leaned forward. "You attacked first." Zaleth nodded. "And you defended without hesitation. You did not surrender. You did not collapse. You adapted." Behind Zaleth, other alien figures whispered nervously. "We want peace," Zaleth said, "and understanding." On Earth, people listened as leaders debated. Some demanded revenge, others wanted answers. Fear and pride mixed together. Kane spoke for many. "You don't get to test our extinction and then ask for peace." Zaleth lowered his head slightly. "Then allow us to explain." The Council showed more data, simulations of humans surviving extreme radiation. Humans fighting while injured, humans refusing to stop even when overwhelmed. "You are not normal," Zaleth said. "Your emotional bonds increase your combat strength. Your pain tolerance is beyond reason. Your willingness to sacrifice is terrifying." Kane let out a short laugh. "That's called being human." The call ended without agreement, but something had changed. The galaxy now knew humanity was not weak. and Earth knew it was no longer alone. In deep space, not everyone agreed with peace. A secret faction within the Galactic Alliance watched the meeting with cold eyes. They believed the Council was making a mistake. "These humans are too dangerous," their leader said. "They survived a death world, they survived us. Next, they will spread." Orders were issued quietly. If the Council would not end humanity, someone else would. Back on Earth, strange things began to happen. Satellites detected unknown signals, not attacks, but probes, silent watchers. Elias Kane stood outside under the night sky, staring at the stars. He felt something he had never felt before. Being watched, a young officer approached him. "Sir, do you think they'll come back?" Kane didn't look away. "Yes, soon. Eventually." The officer hesitated. "Are we ready?" Kane finally turned. His face was calm, but his eyes were hard. "We've always been ready, we just didn't know for what." Above Earth, far beyond human detection, a small alien ship drifted quietly. Inside, a different kind of alien watched Earth closely. She was not a soldier. She was an observer. Her name was Lyraven. Unlike others, she felt curiosity instead of fear. She watched humans rebuild, help each other, laugh despite loss. "They are strange," she whispered. "Violent yet kind." Her mission was simple, learn what humans truly were. But she did not realize how much humanity would change her instead. As Earth prepared its defenses and the galaxy argued its future, one truth became clear. The unexpected war had not ended. It had only introduced humanity to the universe, and the universe was beginning to understand the mistake it had made. The first human ship left Earth quietly. It was not large. It was not powerful by galactic standards. But it carried something far stronger than weapons, curiosity mixed with caution. The mission was not announced to the public. Only a small group of leaders and scientists knew. Earth had decided that waiting was more dangerous than learning. Captain Elias Kane stood on the bridge of the ship, watching Earth grow smaller on the main screen. For the first time in human history, their home planet was behind them. "Strange," one officer said softly. "All our lives we looked up at space. Now we're leaving it." Kane nodded, "And space has already noticed us." Far away, Lyraven continued her observation. Her small research vessel drifted between shadows, its system silent. She watched the human ship leave Earth's orbit. Her pulse quickened. This was not expected. Humans were not supposed to move so fast. "They adapt too quickly," she whispered. Lyraven had studied hundreds of species. Most froze when faced with the unknown. Humans moved toward it. She activated her recording tools, capturing every detail. The human ship was simple, rugged, and clearly built to survive damage. Not elegant, but practical. "Built like their world," she noted. As the human ship entered deeper space, an alert flashed on her console. Unknown energy signature detected. Lyraven's eyes widened. That signal did not belong to the Galactic Council. She traced it quickly, a hidden fleet. The radical faction had moved sooner than expected. "These fools," she muttered. "They will start a real war." The ambush was planned with precision. The human ship would never see it coming. Unless someone warned them. Lyraven hesitated. Her orders were clear: observe, do not interfere. But she remembered the footage of humans carrying strangers from fire. Humans standing their ground on a burning world. She made a choice. On the human ship, alarms suddenly screamed. "Unknown contacts," an officer shouted. "Multiple ships decloaking." Kane's hands tightened on the command rail. "Battle stations." Alien warships appeared around them, sleek and deadly. Their weapons charged instantly. "Transmit a signal," Kane ordered. "All channels." Before they could act, a new signal cut through the chaos. "This is Lyraven," a voice said, calm but urgent. "You are about to be attacked. Evade now." The crew froze. "Sir," an officer said, "that's alien." "I know," Kane replied. "Follow her instructions." The human ship veered sharply just as energy beams tore through the space it had occupied seconds before. The battle erupted. Human weapons fired wildly, not to destroy but to distract. Kane realized quickly they were outmatched. "Damage report," he shouted. "Shields failing, hull breach on deck 4. The alien attackers closed in, confident and ruthless. Lyraven watched in horror. The human ship fought like a wounded animal, desperate, creative, refusing to die. "They shouldn't survive this," she said, but they did. A human pilot slammed their damaged fighter directly into an enemy weapon array, destroying both. Another crew sealed a hull breach by hand, holding metal plates together under vacuum. Pain did not stop them. Fear did not stop them. Only survival mattered. Lyraven felt something unfamiliar: respect. She made a dangerous move. Redirecting her ship's power, she fired a disabling pulse at the attacker's navigation systems. It was subtle, but effective. Confusion spread among the alien fleet. Kane saw the opening. Full burn now! The human ship tore through the gap, engines screaming as they escaped into deeper space. Silence followed. On the bridge, wounded crew leaned against consoles. Smoke filled the air. Kane exhaled slowly. Whoever that was, they saved us. Lyravan powered down her systems, heart racing. She had broken every rule, and she knew the consequences would come. Back within the Galactic Council, chaos erupted as reports flooded in. The radical fleet attacked humans without approval. They failed. They were assisted by an unknown vessel. Dr. Zaleth read the data carefully. He recognized the signature immediately. Lyravan, he said softly, a council member hissed. She interfered. Yes, Zaleth replied, because she saw what we refused to. The radical faction was furious. They must be erased now, their leader insisted, before they grow stronger. Zaleth stood firm. You already failed once. Every time you attack them, you teach them how to fight us better. The words sank in. Meanwhile, the human ship limped toward a safe zone. Emergency repairs began. Kane stood alone for a moment, staring into the darkness of space. They tried to kill us, he said quietly, and someone else tried to save us. He turned to his crew. That means this universe isn't simple. Lyravan, now in hiding, replayed the battle footage again. Humans did not win because they were stronger. They won because they refused to stop. They call Earth a death world, she whispered. But maybe death is what taught them how to live. As Earth prepared more ships and the galaxy argued its future, alliances began to shift. Some aliens feared humanity. Others watched with growing interest, and a few began to wonder if humans were not a threat, but a force the universe had been missing. The news spread faster than anyone expected. Across the galaxy, whispers moved through trade stations, research hubs, and military outposts. A small human ship had survived an ambush by a superior alien fleet. Not only survived, escaped, and an alien had helped them. The name Lyravan was now spoken in secret. On Earth, Captain Elias Kane's ship finally returned home. The landing was rough, but it was met with silence, not celebration. Leaders, scientists, and soldiers waited as Kane stepped out, injured but standing. A meeting was called immediately. You were attacked outside our system, one leader said. That confirms hostile intent. Kane nodded. Not all of them. Someone warned us, someone saved us. The room shifted. An alien? Another asked. Yes, Kane said, and she risked everything to do it. Earth's leaders exchanged looks. For the first time, the enemy was not a single face. Far away, Lyravan hid in the shadows of an abandoned relay station. Her ship was damaged. Supplies were low. She had cut all official channels. She knew the council would find her eventually. But she did not regret her choice. She replayed human transmissions again, studying tone and language. Humans spoke simply, but their words carried emotion. They joked under pressure. They argued openly. They trusted easily and fiercely defended that trust. They are dangerous, she said quietly, because they care. Dr. Zaleth faced pressure from all sides. The radical faction demanded authority to strike Earth again. Several neutral systems threatened to leave the council if humanity was allowed to grow. Zaleth stood before them, calm but unyielding. Every attack strengthens them, he said. Earth is not their weakness, it is their forge. A general snarled, you speak like you admire them. Zaleth did not deny it. They survived what should have killed them, he said. That alone makes them different. The council voted, no full invasion, no peace treaty, observation only. It pleased no one. On Earth, humans prepared anyway, shipyards expanded. Training intensified. Scientists worked day and night to understand alien technology recovered from the battlefield. Humans did what they always did when threatened. They adapted. Elias Kane walked through a training facility where soldiers practiced in simulated alien environments. Low gravity, high radiation, toxic air. Feels like home, one soldier joked through a helmet. Kane almost smiled. Above Earth, a new signal appeared. This one was open, clear. Lyravan stood inside her ship, staring at the transmission she was about to send. Once she did this, there would be no turning back. She sent it. This is Lyravan of the Galactic Science Council, her message said. I request asylum. The response was immediate. On Earth, screens lit up. Kane stared at the message. Bring her in. The landing was tense. Lyravan's ship descended slowly, damaged and unarmed. Human defense systems tracked it closely. When the hatch opened, she stepped out carefully. She was smaller than most expected. Her movements were controlled, her eyes scanned everything. Weapons were pointed at her. Kane approached slowly, hands visible. "You saved my crew." Lyravan nodded. "Because your people fight for each other, that matters." She was taken inside under guard. Interrogation was calm, not cruel. Humans asked questions. Lyravan answered honestly. "They fear you," she said. "Not because you are violent, because you survive what destroys others." A scientist asked, "Are they planning another attack?" "Yes," Lyravan replied. "Not the Council, but others." This confirmed Earth's fears. Some leaders demanded she be used as leverage. Others wanted her protected. Kane spoke again. "If she wanted us dead, we'd already be." The decision was made. Lyravan would stay. Across the galaxy, the radical faction discovered her defection. Their response was immediate. "If humans shelter her," their leader said, "they choose war." A massive fleet began to assemble beyond known space. On Earth, Lyravan watched human cities through reinforced windows. Children played, workers rebuilt damaged areas, life continued. "You live under constant threat," she said to Kane. "Yet you smile." Kane shrugged. "We don't know any other way." Lyravan studied him. "If war comes again, it will be worse." Kane's voice was steady. "Then we'll stand again." She looked at him for a long moment. "Your planet should have killed you." He smiled slightly. "It tried." Deep in space, engines ignited. The radical fleet moved. And this time they did not come to test humanity. They came to end it. The warning came too late to stop it. Long-range sensors detected the fleet before it entered known space, but its size shocked everyone. Hundreds of ships moved together in perfect formation, dark and silent. This was not a test. This was not fear. This was extermination. On Earth, alarms echoed through command centers, screens filled with red markers spreading across space like a growing storm. "They're not hiding," an officer said. "They want us to see them." Elias Kane stood still, watching the display. "They're sending a message." Lyravan felt it too, her body tensed as she recognized the formation. "This is the Purifier fleet," she said quietly. "They erase threats." A leader turned to her. "They don't negotiate?" "No," she replied. "They believe survival through destruction is the only law." Earth's leaders spoke fast, voices overlapping. Some wanted evacuation plans, others demanded first strikes. Kane raised his voice. "Listen, running won't save us. They followed us here. This is our line." Outside, humanity moved with calm purpose. Ships launched. Defense platforms powered up. Civilians were moved underground. Emergency teams prepared shelters. Fear was there, but it did not control them. Lyravan watched in silence as humans prepared. "You should be afraid," she said softly. Kane looked at her. We just don't let it decide for us." The fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system. The stars dimmed as massive alien vessels emerged, larger than anything humanity had faced. Their weapons charged slowly, confidently. A broadcast filled every channel. "Humanity," a cold voice said, "you are in error. Your survival threatens order. Your planet will be cleansed." No anger, no emotion, just judgment. Kane stepped forward. "This is Earth. We didn't ask to be tested. You came here." Silence answered. Then the attack began. Energy waves tore through space, smashing into human defenses. Platforms exploded. Ships vanished in flashes of light. Humans answered. Missiles launched. Fighters swarmed. Railguns fired until barrels glowed red. The battle spread across the system. Lyravan watched in horror as human ships charged directly into enemy fire, drawing attention away from weaker targets. "They sacrifice themselves," she whispered. "They choose," Kane corrected. On the battlefield, chaos ruled. Human pilots adapted instantly. When weapons failed, they rammed. When shields fell, they kept firing. The Purifier fleet was powerful but rigid. They had rules. Humans did not. A human cruiser, heavily damaged, drifted toward an enemy command ship. Its engines flared one last time. The explosion crippled the alien vessel. Shock rippled through the Purifier ranks. "They are using themselves as weapons," an alien commander reported. Confusion spread. This was not a species trying to win. The battlefield did not fall silent after the explosion. Burning debris drifted through space. Broken alien ships tumbled without control. Human vessels, damaged and barely holding together, pulled back toward defensive positions. Earth was wounded, but it was alive. Inside the command center, the air was heavy. Many screens were dark. Names disappeared from active lists every second. Elias Kane stood without speaking. His hands rested on the table, fingers tight. Lyravan watched the data stream with wide eyes. "They should be retreating," she said. "Any other fleet would." "They're not any other fleet," Kane replied. As if answering him, new signals appeared. The remaining purifier ships regrouped. "They are adjusting strategy," an officer said. "They're targeting population centers now." Lyreven's voice dropped. "They want to break your spirit." Kane shook his head slowly. "They still don't understand us." Across Earth, fires burned. Rescue teams moved through ruins. Soldiers fought block by block. In one city, a human medic dragged an injured alien civilian from a collapsed building. The alien stared in shock as the human treated their wounds without hesitation. "Why help me?" the alien asked weakly. The medic answered simply, "Because you're here." That moment was captured by a hidden observer drone. Far above, members of the Galactic Council watched the footage in silence. "Doctor." Zaleth leaned forward, his voice trembled. "They save even their enemies." A council member whispered, "This is not a species driven only by violence." Zaleth nodded. "This is a species driven by survival and choice." The council realized the truth too late. The purifiers did not represent the galaxy. They represented fear, and fear had chosen the wrong enemy. Back on Earth, Lyreven stood beside Kane as another wave of alien ships entered the atmosphere. "They will not stop," she said, "even if it costs them everything." Kane looked at her. "Then we'll make sure it does." A new signal arrived unexpected. "Unknown fleet entering system," an officer announced. "Multiple jump signatures." Everyone froze. Another invasion. Lyreven scanned the data quickly, her breath caught. "No, these are council ships." Dr. Zaleth's fleet emerged between Earth and the purifier forces. Weapons powered up, not aimed at Earth. They aimed outward. Zaleth's voice echoed across all channels. "This is the Galactic Science Council. Purifier fleet, stand down." The Purifier commander responded with cold certainty. "You protect a threat." Zaleth answered calmly. "We correct our mistake." Without further warning, Council ships opened fire. The battle shifted instantly. Purifier vessels turned to face the new enemy caught between two forces. Human ships did not hesitate. They joined the fight. Humans and aliens fought side by side. Lyreven felt her chest tighten. "You are not alone anymore," she whispered. Kane nodded once. "About time." The combined assault was brutal. Council tactics were careful. Human tactics were aggressive. Together they were unstoppable. Purifier ships fell one by one. On the ground, alien soldiers surrendered as Council forces broadcast cease orders. Humans accepted them without hesitation. "Secure them," Kane ordered. "No executions." Lyreven watched this closely. "You spare them," she said. "We end the war," Kane replied, "not become it." The Purifier flagship attempted to flee. Human fighters chased it beyond safe range. One pilot's voice came through the channel, calm and steady. "Target locked." Lyreven listened as the pilot continued. "For Earth." The missile struck. The flagship vanished in light. Silence followed. Slowly, the fighting stopped. The war was over. Earth still stood. Days passed. Repairs began. Aid arrived from Council worlds. Alien ships hovered above cities not as enemies but as protectors. For the first time, humanity saw the galaxy without fire. Dr. Zaleth arrived on Earth personally. He stood before human leaders, his posture respectful. "We judged you by our limits," he said, "not yours." Lyreven stood beside him. "You call Earth a death world," Zaleth continued. "But it did not create monsters, it created survivors." Kane spoke for humanity. "We don't want to rule the galaxy." Zaleth nodded. "That is what makes you dangerous and trustworthy." A new agreement was formed. Humanity would join the Council not as a subject, but as an equal. Some aliens protested. Many feared, but none could deny the truth anymore. Earth had earned its place. That night, Kane stood outside under the stars. Lyreven joined him. "You changed everything," she said. He shook his head. "We just did what we always do." She looked at the sky. "The universe will remember this day." Kane smiled faintly. "So will we." But somewhere far beyond known space, a signal pulsed once, then disappeared. A reminder, survival always brings new challenges. And the final test was still waiting. The galaxy took a long breath. For the first time in recorded history, a death world had not only survived judgment but reshaped it. Trade routes reopened. Borders stabilized. Council fleets returned to their systems, and Earth, still scarred, continued to heal. Humans rebuilt with quiet determination. Cities rose from ruins, forests were replanted, oceans were cleaned. Loss was remembered, but it did not stop progress. It never had. Elias Kane walked through a memorial plaza where names were etched into stone. He stopped often, touching the cold surface, letting the silence speak. Lyravan stood beside him. She had learned this ritual. Humans honored the fallen not with fear, but with purpose. They gave everything, she said softly. Kane nodded. So we keep going. Earth's first permanent embassy beyond the solar system opened months later. It was not grand. It was practical, strong. Human, aliens came carefully at first, some out of curiosity, some out of fear, some out of respect. They left changed. Humans did not boast, they did not threaten, they listened, they laughed, they argued openly, they invited others to share meals, stories, and ideas. The galaxy struggled to understand this. Doctor. Zaleth watched humanity closely from the council chambers. He often replayed old reports, the ones that labeled Earth uninhabitable. He wondered how many mistakes the galaxy had made simply by assuming survival should look gentle. Lyravan became a bridge between worlds. She walked Earth freely now without guards. Children asked her questions. Scientists debated with her openly. Soldiers greeted her with nods of respect. She was no longer just an observer. She was a witness. One evening, as Earth rotated under a calm sky, an alert reached the council. A signal from beyond mapped space. Ancient, powerful, unknown. Fear stirred again. Some council members whispered of new threats. Others spoke of preemptive strikes. Zaleth remained silent. He turned to Lyravan. We will ask them to wait. Lyravan looked surprised. You believe humans should lead this? Zaleth nodded. They understand survival better than we do. The signal grew clearer. It was not an invasion. It was a warning. A message from an ancient civilization that had watched the galaxy from the dark edges of time. They spoke of cycles, of species that rose too fast and fell too hard, of death worlds that created conquerors, and they asked one question: will humanity rule or protect? The council waited. Earth waited. Elias Kane stood before the gathered human representatives. His voice carried no pride, only truth. We didn't survive Earth by dominating it, he said. We survived by learning when to fight and when to help. He turned to Lyravan, then to the stars. We don't need to rule the galaxy. We just need to make sure it survives. The response was sent. Clear, calm, human. Days passed, then weeks. Then the signal faded. The ancient watchers did not answer, but they did not return either. The galaxy slowly understood what that meant. Humanity had passed a test it never knew existed. Not of strength, but of restraint. Years later, Earth was no longer called a death world in official records. It was listed as something new, a crucible world. A place that did not forgive weakness but rewarded perseverance. Children learned of the war in schools, not as a story of glory but as a reminder. Survival was not given, it was earned. Lyravan stood on a cliff overlooking a quiet ocean. Kane joined her, older now, slower but steady. Do you ever wish Earth was easier? She asked. Kane smiled. No. She tilted her head. Even with everything it took from you. Yes, he said, because it gave us everything else. The sun dipped below the horizon. Waves crashed against the rocks, patient and endless. Lyravan finally understood. Earth had never been a death world. It was a world